Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And welcome back to the program, everybody. This just blows my mind how there is help for this. I have so many friends that deal with this condition, especially getting on a plane, getting on an elevator. You probably know where I'm going with this. Claustrophobia. It's a real challenge. Anxiety presents. Life changes because you're afraid to do certain things in more enclosed spaces. Would you believe that you can be helped, or somebody you know can be helped through acupuncture? I had no idea until I met her. We're going to learn about that. She practices out of New York City. She is our professional when it comes to all things Chinese medicine, from herbals and so much more. And of course, acupuncture. It is Dr. Kelly joining us on the program. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Steve. How are you doing?
Fantastic, and curious to learn how you can help people with claustrophobia. I get that acupuncture can support pain management. It could be a challenge with smoking, fertility. We talked about that, and I see that through acupuncture. Claustrophobia, I'm surprised. I really am. I don't even know where to start. Where do we begin?
Yeah, I have this gentleman came in. So usually, I do acupuncture, then I will close the door, turn off the light, let them lay on the treatment table for half an hour. But this gentleman told me, please don't turn off the light and please don't close the door. So then I asked him. Then he told me, oh, I have the claustrophobia for like my lifetime. I cannot get onto a plane. I'm panic, like getting into the elevator. So I treated him with some special points usually I don't use for other people. And then after treatment, he said, oh, I feel like not so scared of like stayed in one room by myself anymore. So I'm like, wow, so it's happy. So in Chinese medicine and Western medicine, we have different definition, right? In Western medicine, basically the sympathetic nervous system overacting. That's why they like nervous, they like scared being in like a small space. But in Chinese medicine, we treat the liver, we treat the heart, especially. So with some acupuncture points is pretty effective.
That being said, it almost sounds as if there's not a tried and true meridian or points on the body for claustrophobia. It sounds like you use some of your experience and a knowledge of Chinese medicine and said, okay, let's do this, let's do that. And it worked. Is that kind of how it went with this gentleman?
Well, doesn't matter. People come in for whatever, Western term, like claustrophobia or anxiety or, but in Chinese medicine, we always go to, like, it's liver, like liver qi stagnation, or is like the heart failure, like, or is the phlegm, obstruct, the mind. So when we go down to that root, of course, we have the tool of the tongue, we check the pulse. Then we will have a clear diagnosis. So if the liver qi stagnation causes the claustrophobia, we have to soothe the liver. So the liver qi moving like smoothly, like if it's like heart failure, actually, that's why some people their heart beat faster when they're in the small space. So then we have the heart point to calm down the heart. So that's how we can help people.
Now, would you say that the liver is the organ that, I don't want to say controls, but is very much connected to anxiety, and that's also essentially claustrophobia?
Yeah, most of the cases, usually people have claustrophobia. They have some liver qi stagnation or even liver failure, we call it. So less can trigger to people have claustrophobia. But everybody different. Some people have severe claustrophobia. They couldn't even get onto the plane for their whole life. Like I know some people for their whole life, they never take a plane. They can only take the car. Get on the plane to them is like most scary thing in their life. They just cannot do it.
Wow. This is like a game changer, people hearing this, because claustrophobia, again, even getting on a plane, there's many different reasons for fear of flying. And by the way, just want to say there is no judgment here, not minimizing anything. But on a plane, can contain space, claustrophobia. There could be issues with control. People, I'm out of control right now. I'm referring to just the plane. I can't control the situation. There's anxiety, kind of ties back to claustrophobia, anxiety in general about what could happen. We know very minimal chance of anything happening based on research and history. Why don't we just center on plane? Somebody's afraid of flying. I have a friend who waits to be the last person on the plane because she doesn't want to get on. How could you support all of those different things, or can you, through acupuncture?
Yes, so doesn't matter people are afraid of getting into a plane or elevator, or like, for example, some people just cannot live in a like very high building. Like they just scared of the height. I think that's most common. People scared of the height, right? When they get to like,
Sure.
50-story building, they just got so scared.
Yep.
It's basically they all come down to the same root. It's liver or it's heart, or it's the phlegm. So phlegm usually tends to spleen. If a heart usually we have the heart channel, we can use the heart point to pacify the heart. So the heart not going to beating faster when they get into a small space.
Okay. I never thought of it that way. So essentially, you are, through acupuncture, regulating the heartbeat.
Yes, actually, you're so right. And some people, they know the Western term, right? But in Chinese medicine, like you said, we can regulate the heartbeat. If people heartbeat faster, with acupuncture, it's very, very effective. Like people come in like nervous, anxiety. After acupuncture, almost 100% of my patients feel so relaxed. They are like, I even fall in sleep. I never can fall in sleep outside of my house, but I fall in sleep.
And once the heart starts beating, let's say you have the initial anxiety of whatever it is. Let's say fear of heights, plane, whatever. Your heart starts beating. It adds to the anxiety because you feel your heart beating. So now you're more tense. So now I see, what we're talking about here. What about, let's look at something else. We're talking, seems like travel. What about somebody who gets nauseous? Let's say it's long car rides. Let's say it's being on a boat or a ship. Can acupuncture help with that?
Oh, that's very effective. There's a point over here. We call it PC6. We also use it for like people who, like for example, I have a lot of patients who got pregnant. Then they start to have like heartburn or morning sickness. So that point can be used for like morning sickness, can be used for people who have like insomnia, have a lot of dream, people who have car sick, who people have, the seasick, like they get onto a ship, they may like, want to vomit or something. So that actually is, this is PC, related with the heart, because in Chinese medicine, pericardium and heart, they are like yin yang pair. They are like a couple almost. They help each other. They can, so basically PC and heart is, pericardium basically outside of the heart, right? They are basically together, but it's like PC is protecting the heart. So when people have, like, for example, heartbeat problem, like you said, the car sick problem, even digestion,
Mm.
morning sickness. This point is very helpful. I have been using for people. They said help their digestion, their morning sickness, even their like dream disturbed sleep. So we have so many points in our body, and our point can literally get access to the organ actually. Although it looks like it's just on the skin, it's not too deep, and I don't use a big needle anyway, but it does get into the organ, like you said, regulate the heart, make the organ like more healthy. So
Wow. Makes perfect sense because they have those wristbands that you can buy that have a little piece of plastic that is supposed to address that pressure point. So you can buy them.
oh,
You can buy them. They've been around for many years. I think I used them at even one point just to make sure I don't get sick on a boat where it's an elastic band. You put it here and typically it's a white piece of plastic that has a little nub on it that is supposed to hit that pressure point. Here's where I go wrong with that concept. With the bands. How do you know that you're actually hitting that point? So you described it being down here. I always thought it was up here. You put on the band. How do you know you're actually hitting it? If you really want to be sure, go get acupuncture before the trip. And that being said, how long would it last? So let's say 5 days from now, I've got a cruise. And maybe I get a little seasick. Let's just say. Um, how far in advance can you do acupuncture and how long would it last? Like I can see people having a fear. Well, I was halfway through the cruise and it wore off, and then or I think it will. What can you tell us about that in terms of how long it lasts?
people can come in like 2 weeks before. So I mean like I think to my patients, some acupuncture can last like for a month. Like I have people come in for whatever reason, like they come in for one treatment, it lasts for a month. Like even like actually after treatment, they usually say, "Oh, Dr. Kelly, when should I come back?" I said, "Since we just started, I want you to come back next week." But then next week, they emailed me and said, "Oh, Dr. Kelly, my pain is totally gone, or my problem totally gone. Can I just come back next month?" I said, "Sure." So to some people it can last about a month or maybe even longer. Actually, that patient,
Wow.
she's still good.
Wow. So yeah, if you had a cruise coming up in a week or so and you got acupuncture for motion sickness, you'd be good. You'd be good. Wow. Um, had no idea. Wish I knew. Wish I knew. And I think many people are even saying this. What can you tell us? What can you tell us past that in terms of even travel and acupuncture or just things that we might not realize, but even when it comes to claustrophobia?
Actually, let's just go back to the car sick,
Sure.
seasick a little bit. So, even like morning sickness, right? A little bit similar, not 100% exact the same. Like people when they have like, for example, when they feel morning sickness. So in Chinese medicine, the stomach, right? The stomach, the qi should going down. But when people have problem, the stomach qi actually going up. So we say that like a counterflow, like when the qi going backwards, then that's why when people have like the feeling of nausea. So in that way, we need to make the stomach qi going down. So we have some acupuncture point to make stomach qi going down. In that way, they don't feel nausea anymore. Same thing to the people who have car sick or seasick. When their stomach qi should going down, but instead of going up, we just move the qi down. I have been treating a lot of people, and for this kind of situation, it has been very helpful. So back to the root, right? We always link everything down to the organ. Like for your stomach, because you have this, because your stomach qi going to the wrong way. So then we just make the qi going down to the correct way. Then you don't have the problem anymore. in that way, it can last maybe forever.
Okay. For those who don't know what qi is, can you explain it? And also, why the qi would go up in the stomach in that situation? I would think it would be the opposite.
So, qi, the most popular translation is the energy. So, when we call stomach qi, so basically, we have blood, right? Blood is much easier to understand. The blood, running around in our body all the time. When the blood, I use the blood as an example because we can visualize the blood. We can see the blood. Much easier to talk about the qi. It's like air. we breathe in, breathe out every day, but we just cannot
Sure.
see it. It's
Yep.
hard to imagine. But when we think about blood, it's like water. You see the water flowing, right? But when you think about the blood as like qi, as energy, energy is supposed to also have the way like stomach qi should going down. But when the stomach qi not going down but going up, then that just disturb everything. Because we have the 5 elements in our body, like we have 5 organs, right? Liver, stomach, kidney, heart, lung. So there's a direction, like which is supposed to going down, which is supposed to going up. Then when the direction got messed up, then we're gonna have a problem. Like people have heartburn. Why? Because the stomach qi going to the wrong way. You are asking me why it's going to the wrong way. What's the cause? There can be from, for example, people eat something but didn't get digested. Why didn't get digested? It could be you're overeating. You just eat too much.
Yep.
Or could be the food you're eating didn't get digested because you ate a big steak with a glass of ice cold drink. So less ice cold drink lowered down the enzymes of the temperature. So enzyme couldn't work, couldn't function very well. Then your food didn't get digested. So instead of moving down to the stomach qi kind of like going up, then you have problem. You may feel heartburn. You may want to throw up. And, people sitting in the car, they may, feel very uncomfortable. So since we know because the qi direction got messed up, we need to correct it. How? By doing acupuncture. Like I talk about a lot of, acupuncture. Like when I do acupuncture, in general, I have some of the rule. I make the qi going from the head down to the bottom. So because most people, like in nowadays, we have anxiety, we have stress. So when we move the qi down, we kind of like make the anxiety going away. So very rare I will use where we do acupuncture down from the foot to the head. So if people have anxiety, stress already, or even claustrophobia, you're gonna just make it worse. That's why some people doing acupuncture in another office, they didn't get a good result. So I think one of the reason is some acupuncture may don't have the rule of like, should I doing acupuncture from top to bottom or from bottom to top? If you mess up that direction, you can mess up people's, basically their qi direction, and mess up their health. They can make it worse. That's one of the interesting stories. One of the patient told me when he did acupuncture in another office, after acupuncture, he got even more angry. He like, I'm not angry, but after acupuncture, I got more angry. I don't know why. So I asked him like, how does the acupuncture did the acupuncture on him? He said, so he put the needle, the direction. I said, that's the wrong way. Like for people already feel a lot of anxiety, you should move the qi down instead of moving up.
Wow. Okay. So you mentioned the steak. I experience it I know others do. Yeah, and I have a steak maybe once a month, but it takes longer, I feel, for it to be digested. I know you've said before that we shouldn't be drinking cold liquids under the laws, if you will, of Chinese medicine. It just doesn't support us. So I've gotten more in practice of doing warmer liquids and beverages. However, somebody has a steak. A lot of times you have a glass of soda, you have a cold beer with that steak. So what we're saying here is that is counterproductive to the digestion, and that it's already tough to digest as it is. Now you're making it even more challenging with a cold beverage. Does that sound right?
Yeah, just very simple. Think about our body have a temperature about 37, right? 37, let's say it's January, everybody's normal, healthy body temperature. The enzyme inside our body, their temperature cannot be lower than the 37 of the body temperature, right? And all our enzymes have their optimum temperature to digest our food. When you lower down that temperature, you lower down the enzymes function. They cannot digest the food. That's a very simple way to explain why Chinese medicine doesn't really like the cold food, the raw food. So because even in the Western medicine, about the enzymes optimum temperature, we basically endorse each other. We agree.
Wow. And by the way, 37 is Celsius. That's 98.6 Fahrenheit. Just saying. So yeah, our bodies operate about 98 degrees, and we want to keep it that way for optimum performance. Wow. Mind blow here. Learned a lot. You're in New York City. Obviously, you have to be somebody before you in person for acupuncture, but a lot of this other stuff, herbals, Chinese medicine in general, you would be available for consultation virtually too, right?
Yeah, people can call me. We can schedule a Zoom call or FaceTime. You can send me a picture of your tongue in the natural light, so I can see the natural color of the tongue. I can ask some questions about your digestion, your sleep. Yeah, we can have a diagnosis. I can mail you some herbs.
Wow. And, I forgot about that too, that you can tell a lot from somebody's tongue with your experience in Chinese medicine. Wow. Kelly, 121acupuncture.com is the best way to reach you. All the contact information is there. Thank you for today. I'm going to share this as we are right now with lots of people because this is a game changer for claustrophobia and even getting on a plane, having fear of that. Acupuncture, it's it. Thank you for being here today, Dr. Kelly. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve.
We will be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.